Leviticus 18, verses 16 through 22. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. And you shall not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are relatives. It is depravity. And you shall not take a woman as a rival wife to her sister, uncovering her nakedness while her sister is still alive. You shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness while she is in her menstrual uncleanness. And you shall not lie sexually with your neighbor's wife, and so make yourself unclean with her. You shall not give any of your children to offer them to Molech, and so profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination. I'm reading that because here in the Old Testament, God's word puts homosexuality in the same class as many other sins. Adultery, incest in the sense of messing around with your brother's wife, your father's wife, this woman and her daughter, that kind of stuff. And it lists a bunch of other sins, but they're all bad. And unfortunately, too many born-again TIs and too many Christians in general, they demonize homosexuality. They try to make it something that's so evil, that's so sinful, that they can look at that, they can point at that, and they can scapegoat that as an excuse to not work on themselves, to not work on their own sin. Some of these people who make this big deal about homosexuality, when homosexuality is sin, but it's just one of many. Many of these people, they're actually gay themselves. They're sinning homosexually, and they're in the closet. And they're making this big deal about it, basically like I used to do, because it just detracts from themselves. It fools, it keeps people from seeing who the fact that they are gay and that they're sinning in this way. And so I want you TIs particularly, I want you to work on yourself. Don't sit there and demonize gay people. Yes, it is sin. Make no mistake. You're not going to go to heaven if you're gay. If you're practicing homosexuality, you're not going to go to heaven. I understand that. That is true. You're not going to do it if you're committing adultery, if you're committing fornication, if you're doing any of these sins. You're not going to get into heaven. God doesn't make a distinction. Sin is sin. Don't use it as an excuse to scapegoat people that they're so bad, I don't have to look at my sin, develop myself. Some of you, you're not paying your tithes and offering, and to you, that's a tiny little sin compared to homosexuality, so you scapegoat homosexuality so you don't have to help the poor, you don't have to make the sacrifice of tithes and offerings. When Malachi says if you don't pay your tithes and offerings, it says you are cursed with a curse. You are robbing God. That sounds like a pretty serious sin, and many born-again believers, they overlook and scapegoat their own sin by looking at other people's sin. And you want to, TIs, you want to develop your relationship with God in all ways, and focusing on your sin and developing your relationship with God partially through tithes and offerings is critical, okay? Help my channel grow. Like, subscribe, and share. God bless.